let's talk about genetic determinism. Usually, genetic determinism comes up with the patients I see when they get a genetic test report back and families want me to be able to tell them exactly what symptoms their child will have, or how affected they might be in the future, or if they'll be able to have a job in the future. And the complicated and beautiful thing about that is that there's a lot of impact of our environment on our genes. I'm Anna Shasavon, genetic counselor at Living Well Genetic Counseling. I think about our genes as like parameters for how we grow and develop. So if we take something like height, for example, our height is hugely impacted by our genes. But there are also things like nutrition and sleep and getting the nutrients that we need are vitally important for how tall or how short we might be. So it's the same thing with development and learning and even our social interactions. Our genes can determine if we're more outgoing or less outgoing, but if we're in different environments, we're going to hone those skills in a different way, which I think is a hugely positive thing, because this means that therapies and loving parents and social interaction with peers, all of these things can have a huge impact on how well an individual grows and develops. I also understand that that's a double-edged sword, because many of the families that I see carry around this burden of having to do everything right, of going to the right therapy and interacting with their child just perfectly to help them meet the next milestone. And yet, because of this genetic difference, their child may or may not reach the goals that they're hoping that they're going to reach. So what I hope that you can use is the genetic testing is to realize that, yes, what I do matters, incredibly matters, but I'm not going to be guilty when my child isn't achieving what I hope that they're going to achieve, because I have done everything I possibly can. And it's also important that I take care of myself in that process. So genetic determinism sounds like something that's very maybe heady, but it's a deeply personal thing as well. I'd love to talk more about different topics in the future. Let me know what might be most helpful. Let me know if this was helpful in the chat below.